Hey guys, GameBar06 here, and we're back with another video. In this one, I'm showcasing my attempt at drawing my original character Graffa in 8 different art styles. Some of these were chosen by me, while others were chosen by others who guessed the styles I was drawing in via Discord. So let's get straight into it. The very standard squares for my own style. This will serve as a reference for drawing in the various styles, and this will make drawing in those styles faster. Since this is only a portrait, drawing this was pretty easy to pull off. Doing this challenge also allowed me to pick up on stylistic choices that I can make to adjust my own style and change things up. Once I finished the drawing for my style, I made a copy of the sketch for the 8 other squares to use to create Graffa in the same pose in the other styles. This also serves as a way to compare my style to the 8 other styles, which is why mine's in the center. And in the final one, I have mine with a red background, and then I have all the other styles labeled appropriately that you'll be able to see at the end of the video. For anyone who knows me, this shouldn't come as a surprise. I was going to do this style. One Piece is the rarest fictional work in existence, so of course I wanted to face what Graffa could look like if she were in the world of One Piece. Based on her clothing style, I don't think she would fit in the world, but this was fun nonetheless. I've had practice drawing in this style plenty of times before, so I'm familiar with the elements that make the One Piece style unique. That, and I got reference in the various episodes of the Wano arc of One Piece as reference. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure that I gave the style its proper justice, but I know that I went out of my way to do these different styles that are vastly different from one another, and those styles are vastly different from my own. As I mentioned in the intro, throughout Discord, I've sent my style drawings in different servers, and no one was able to guess the One Piece style, meaning that I chose the style that I was going to do after the One Piece style, My Hero Academia. For most of these, I had to gather plenty of references to take multiple elements from each character and adapt them to Graffa, but not for My Hero Academia. I already had plenty of references of plenty of female characters ready to go, and all I needed to do was gather them up and prepare them for this reference board that I used. In terms of the hair color, shape, and eye color, I'd say that Neji Hato was my biggest preference, and as a matter of fact, someone in the server mentioned that Graffa looked like Hato. For the future, I'll have to keep in mind that I can't just take elements from one character, and I should do better to mix and match different features from different characters to make Graffa look more unique and so she does not look like some knockoff version of Hato. Someone was able to guess the My Hero Academia style, and that person wanted me to draw in the Soul Eater style next, so I went through a couple of episodes and got screenshots to gather some reference. One thing I noticed off the bat were the desaturated colors. I prefer more saturation so things don't look as dead, but I think given the series, the dead and depressing look is intentional. Outside of that, the eyes are varied, and I'd say for the guys in the series, they're all pretty angular. There was one girl with rounded eyes, but most of them, guy, girl, whatever, were pretty angular, and there's the open rectangular nose shape that was consistent throughout the characters in the front view, so that was easy to adapt. Somebody guessed Soul Eater, so they wanted me to draw in the Sonic Battle style. Since there's only one human character that can reference Dr. Eggman, it was quite difficult for me to represent this style properly. What I did notice that the lines had no curves and they are all straight. I did this without using a ruler or a straight line tool, which in hindsight I should have used, and I mostly did color picking. In comparison to the other styles, it looks out of place, but to be fair, Sonic Battles is a video game and the rest of the styles are anime, so that's to be expected. Nobody was able to guess Sonic Battle, so I went ahead and did Bleach 1000 Year Blood War specifically. I had to get plenty of references to make sure that my colors were on point, and through getting them I was able to know some consistent things about how the characters are drawn. For characters with dark hair, there is little to no detail drawn for the hair itself, otherwise the amount of lines used for the hair can vary depending on the hairstyle of the characters involved. Hair with more strands will have lines indicating flow and shape. The proportions were something I had to adjust to as well to fit the style, and the lighting was a cool experiment as well. The eyes are similar to One Piece, and I've done these kind of eyes before, both Bleach and One Piece, so they weren't really a big deal for me. Someone was able to guess this style, so the next one wasn't my own choosing. The next style up was Hunter x Hunter, and I'm pronouncing it that way because there's an X in the name. I don't care if in Japanese it's silent. I'm an English speaking person. This is English. Hunter x Hunter. So this is the style that the next person chose. For those who have kept up with the channel, you'll know that I took notes on every episode of the 2011 version of Hunter x Hunter. This is when I first started doing these notes. So my notes for Hunter x Hunter are more as detailed as they are nowadays for series such as Naruto Shippuden and My Hero Academia Season 6, which I did the entirety of that. I used my notes to help me find the episodes that featured female characters so I can get the reference. I gathered up the references of various characters and went to it just like I did for literally every style. Looking at the final result, I think I could have made Graffa's eyes bigger to emphasize the style better, considering that you could argue that I changed the size of her eyes or some of the other styles. Outside of that, maybe for these art style challenges I can try to adapt my character's clothing to better match the media style, but I don't want to compromise my characters just for the sake of the style. I want to be able to represent Graffa in this case, but just in a different style. At this point, I was used to this general process. Let's get into the last two styles. No one gets the Hunter x Hunter style, so we move on to a style of my own, Naruto Shippuden. Luckily, I already had reference for plenty of the female characters in the series, so I didn't have to do any extra work to do this. I was debating between Naruto Shippuden and Boruto, but decided to go more old school this time, and maybe I'll go into the Boruto Naruto Next Generation's art style in the future. For now, this is what I went for. One common thing I noticed about this style is the lack of detail drawn for the hair. The hair in the show still looks good without any detail drawn. I wouldn't say it looks the best, but it does its job. The Naruto Shippuden style focuses more on the basic shapes when it comes to the hair and then leaves it at that, even for the female characters. In a lot of the anime I watched, more detail in general will be drawn for female characters in comparison to the men, but in Shippuden specifically, I see the shading has less contrast and isn't there as much in comparison to Naruto, so I leaned into that. I like simplistic styles such as this, which is why I've drawn the Dragon Ball Super Broly art style many times before. I personally like to add a little bit of detail to the hair, because in comparison to my old style that was similar to this, I didn't really like how I did it back then, and I think the way I do it now is just way better. I believe that I successfully pulled off this style, and that's why someone was able to correctly guess this style and decide how I was going to finish off this art challenge. I've seen some art regarding this show and some memes here and there, but I've never tried to watch the show. I went through grabbing screenshots for reference from the first 5 episodes to get enough characters that I can use to adapt Graffa. I can't tell whether I successfully did this style because I'm not a fan of Chainsaw Man, so I'll leave that up to any of you who are fans of the show and understand the art style better than I do. All I can say about this is I like the final result, and these kind of colors are something that I can further experiment with, because yes, they're more desaturated than my own, but I definitely think it does fit like certain genres that I think I can lean more into. I'd say this challenge was definitely a better success than back in 2019, and I will use this to further my own art. The style that I think I did the best on was the Bleach style, and the one I think I did the worst on was either Chainsaw Man or Hunter x Hunter. With the One Piece style, I know that I could do even better, and in 2024, I would like to practice more of that style to the point where it becomes my secondary art style to draw. With that, there's one more drawing from 2023 that I will be showcasing on the channel, and if you want to see the final result of it now, check the links in my description outside of the music descriptions, of course. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video or enjoy my overall content, please hit the like button and subscribe. Also, if you want to keep up with what I'm doing off camera, check out my Discord, Newgrounds, Twitter or X, DeviantArt, and anywhere I am on the internet. All of the links should be in the description. Deuces.